Alright, so ever since I made my last few videos, there has been a lot of discussion around the hashtag Fire343 or hashtag Fire343i, depending on which one you follow. I've been following both and they've been entertaining as fuck, but also a little bit disturbing, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But the big thing is that there has been a lot of discussion around the idea of 343 needs to go. And honestly, a lot of people have been saying this for years, but now it's gotten so big and so massive of a conversation that it was trending on Twitter. Not even kidding you. It was trending on Twitter and Reddit for hours on end, even still trending to the point that I'm recording this video. And people are probably gonna say, well, why do people want him fired so bad? Why do they want him gone? They just put out another shitty update. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. No, it wasn't about the roadmap itself, because we expected things to be shit. We expected nothing from this roadmap. I didn't expect much, but it was the announcement that co-op campaign split screen was canceled, that it wasn't happening. That was the thing that upset people the most. That was the thing that a lot of people heard as a promise, which it was. They did promise it back in 2017 that it was going to be in every future Halo franchise title, and they broke that promise. And after 10 years of constant promise breaking, this was the one that hurt the most. And I know what people are gonna say. Well, I haven't played a split screen game in 15 years. It's been so long since I played one, but there's still a massive audience for it. I mean, honestly, let me ask you a question. If I went to you and I said, hey, let's play Mario Party, are you gonna wanna play Mario Party online, or are you gonna wanna play in person? There are tons of games that have split screen options, even games today that allow for co-op, couch co-op, and most of them are party games, but there are also full campaigns and stories and stuff that allow for that. Yet this is something that was important to a lot of Halo players because it was probably the way they first experienced Halo on the original Xbox. Buying that Xbox back in 2001 along with an extra controller and a copy of Halo CE, they probably bought that, went home and played with either their brother, their sister, their dad, who knows, even their mom, split screen, playing through one of the best campaigns that had come out in a long time, one of the best stories that had come out in that year. And they'd continued that for years on end up until Halo 5, where it was announced that you wouldn't be able to do split screen co-op. You could only do it over multiple Xboxes via Xbox Live. But following the backlash of Halo 5 Guardians not having split screen co-op at launch or at all, they had a post made by Bonnie Ross which explained that from now on, every future installment of Halo will have split screen co-op, that it's a very important thing to our fans, and that this will be something that will be carried on from this moment forward. And people were happy with that. They were like, okay, you learn from this mistake, we'll see you in the future. Then in 2018, on the final stream of 2018, they actually said that they had tested Halo Infinite split screen co-op, and to quote Sketch, it was a big moment to them.
We did see a video, and I think there was a really cool moment when Halo Infinite was up and running, and we had 4 people on the team playing on one TV, correct?
Confirmed. We have split screen working.
Split screen. Yep.
We made a promise to the community that we would have it in our kind of next game that we made, and it's working. We can play on it. It's a huge accomplishment for the team this year.
Too bad we never got to see this big moment at all, but it was a big moment.
It was a big moment, right?
But then just the other day during their September 1st update about Halo Infinite, it was very quickly ran over that 343 has decided to move the assets and the people working on split screen co-op onto other things. They decided to move them from this feature that was promised to players, that was very important to the community, onto other things that they mentioned throughout that stream, including making sure that their game was competitive and fair.
Not only to go after this list of things that you talked about, which we're fired up to do, but to work on experiences that we're not quite ready to talk about yet. We have had to make the difficult decision not to ship campaign split screen co-op and take the resources that we would use on that and go after this list and all these other things that we're going to talk about in just a sec.
And that is the spark that pissed everyone off. But soon after that video aired and everyone saw what happened, a brand new hashtag got started and essentially trended across Reddit and Twitter, and hell, even YouTube at this point, because everyone's talking about it. And that is hashtag fire343, hashtag fire343i. And essentially this is because of a number of reasons. One, the slow drip feed of them getting content to Halo Infinite, but also breaking the promise of couch co-op for nearly 5 years. I mean, they made this promise back in 2017, and nearly 5 years later, they broke that promise and not having it at all. And this bothered people, like this guy right here who says, canceling couch co-op after promising it would be included. Wanted to play with my son, which again, that's another thing. A lot of people that are now adults and have children wanted to share this franchise with their kids, and they can't. They can enjoy the original trilogy and enjoy, you know, some of the older 343 games, but they can't continue that trend unless they shill out another $500 or $400 for another Xbox and play online in different rooms, or maybe having a second set right next to each other. But that kind of seems a little ridiculous, don't you think? Then you have this right here, Fire343i. Enough with the delays already. You keep pushing the cosmetic store. This game has been out for a year now and is still not fully released. With the image, our expectations for you were low, but holy fuck. And I mean, that is true. People's expectations for Halo Infinite were extremely low. Mine included were low. Did I get a little excited whenever I did play the flight and I did think it was promising? Yeah. But then whenever they went into beta on November 15th, I saw the writing on the wall. This was content full for their launch on the 8th and was not going to get any better. And some people had hopium saying, we'll wait until December 8th, wait until December 8th, there'll be more content, there'll be more weapons, this is just a beta, it's just a beta, you see. And then we got to December 8th and nothing changed. They just launched the campaign for $60. Then you have more sound tweets like this, and this is one of the ones that I think I agree with the most. Hashtag Fire343i, management. Most of the devs are innocent in all of this and have no choice. It's almost like the VP of Xbox being the CEO of 343 Industries is a bit of a conflict of interest. Hashtag give Halo to id Software. Don't know about that. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's a bad idea. Hashtag Fire343. Hashtag Fire343 management. Hashtag Fire Bonnie Ross. And that's the one thing I'll say. I don't think everyone in 343 Industries needs to be fired. I don't think everyone in 343 Industries is bad. But the one thing we haven't seen changed, the one thing we haven't seen be shaken up is the management. The management has stayed the same. And the top 3 people that people want to see go are Bonnie Ross, Frank O'Connor, and Kiki Wolfkill. Those are the 3 that everyone points out, actually including this tweet here from Empress Cortana. The prophets are liars. Fire the 3433. Hashtag Fire343. They're the problem. Not every single person underneath is the problem. It's the people at the top that are the issue, because they're the one thing that hasn't changed. We've seen artists, sound designers, gameplay designers, every basically part of that studio be shaken up except for the management, yet these 3 still stand. These are the 3 that people need to be focusing on. Then we've got tweets like this that are against the hashtag. We've got tweets like this that come from Prophet of Sims. Let's sum up the hashtag Fire343 hashtag. No 343, no Halo. Aw, ain't it the cutest little thing? Hashtag Fire343. Oh no, it's retarded. Here's the truth behind that tweet right there, where it says no 343 means no Halo. Well, I want to play a little clip from one of my favorite movies. You guys remember the Lorax? Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up and die. Let Halo die at this point. Because here's something that I've learned from the wrestling business. How can you miss someone if they won't go away? How can you miss a franchise or a series if it doesn't go away for a long period of time? You know what's funny is that people feel like we were in a content drought from 2015 until 2022 when Halo Infinite came out. Honestly, I want it to be the point that we forget about Halo. I want it to be the point where we forget about Halo and we have no Halo for maybe 10 more years. Give it time, make people miss it, and then find a developer or find people that actually can run Halo, a studio that can actually put together a good Halo game that is content full from launch, and then expand upon it from the content complete launch, not this drip feed bullshit. And I've even said this, I said this in my last video, Halo should have never gone the way of free to play. Halo should have never gone the way of games as a service. It should have been a complete launch and then added on like they've done in the past with other games, not coming out with the bare minimum. If not, it honestly wasn't even the bare minimum, because bare minimum to the Halo franchise is complete, but coming out with what they did, a skeleton, and then trying to flesh it all out. Now here's one where I agree with the sentiment. But I don't like the image that's attached to it, because people that are saying this hashtag is bad are going to use this against you. I'm going to explain why. Arbiter 2707 says, let your voices be heard. Okay, good sentiment. Halo isn't just some stupid game series to us. We've invested so much time with our friends and families throughout the years, and we shouldn't stay silent as Halo suffers under such irresponsible management. Hashtag Fire343, hashtag Fire Bonnie Ross. And then it shows the gaming trending hashtag Fire343 over the Arbiter's face, about to stab the prophet of truth, which is Bonnie Ross. And that's where I've got a problem, because the problem is that stupid people are gonna take this image and try and twist it into you threatening Bonnie Ross or saying that they need to be axed off or unalived. That's what stupid people are going to twist this into. I get what you're saying. The prophets need to go. So maybe that's not the best image to use. Honestly, there could be so much more, but that to me is not the best. I get the sentiment, not the best image. But this just goes on and on and on through both of these hashtags, and you could scroll for hours. I did with Scrubsy in the call with me, scrolling for hours, looking at tweet after tweet and seeing what exactly there is to this whole thing. And I just see a lot of people that are frustrated, disappointed, and are tired of 343 putting out shit. And that's what it is. It's shit. Because it's been 10 years. It's actually been more than 10 years, because they were put in charge halfway through Halo Reach's life cycle. They were actually put in charge of the servers and of actually Halo Reach. But the thing is that people are tired of it. People are tired of the disappointment. People are tired of the lackluster content drip and the broken promises, if I'm being completely honest, and they're ready for a change. And I don't think that everyone from 343 Industries needs to be fired, but maybe I can leave you with this. 343 Industries needs a rebrand. 343 Industries needs an entirely different name, a different identity, because here's the problem. Even if 343 Industries gets totally cleaned out and new management is there, and basically the people that people consider the problem are gone, the name of the company is still 343 Industries. It's still in the YouTube, Twitter, and everywhere else's algorithm of being a joke in the gaming industry. We need a new name, a new company, and hell, maybe even some of the companies that Halo has worked with to develop their games to take over. But the one thing I'll say is 343 Industries needs to go. At least the name does, and 343 Industries management are the big issue. I don't like the idea of people losing their jobs, but at the same time, if you work at a job for a year and you're constantly fucking up and you're constantly making mistakes, you're gonna get fired in less than a year. But these guys have been at it for 10 years, yet they're still sitting there continuing to run this franchise. We've seen every position in this company changed, rearranged, and moved except for management. I think there's something to that. And I think people really need to consider that a lot more than they are. Right now where I'm at, I think 343 needs to go. I think Halo needs to die for a little while, and maybe in another 10 years we can try again. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you dislike it, and as always, GamerJlee signing out.